Hello and thanks for joining me for some Project Zomboid build 42. Starting a new run. This is just going to be a quick video going over my sandbox settings and character build for this new run. So we're doing a solo game, custom sandbox. We are going to start in Echo Creek again. Now in my last run I mainly stayed around this area and just sort of went around through some of the backwoods and stuff. This time my plan is to head up to Ep00 as soon as I can. Check out that area. So basically I do have a preset in here. And everything that is not yellow is basically standard apocalypse settings. So in the time I've changed the start hour to 5 AM instead of 9 AM. The reason I do that is because as soon as you spawn in your character, no matter what time it is, there is going to be a show, a life and living show on TV if you're lucky enough to spawn in a house with a TV. And so starting at 5 AM means we're going to catch an extra fishing show right before the 6 AM cooking show. Onto the zombies, I've turned off the respawn and I have set transmission to saliva only because I'm guaranteed to get scratched and I really don't like it when my runs get ended just by a scratch. So saliva only, which means got to get a bite. These ones here, they get changed automatically when you disable the respawn. Up here onto the loot, I have disabled the chance of buildings being already looted by the time you get to them. I don't want to spend a huge chunk of time traveling halfway across the map to find that the best buildings are already looted. With the rest of the loot, in my last run I had a few of these turned up, including cooking, but since then I've learned that in build 42 there's a lot more knives and different options, such as using a sharp flint stone that you can forage to do carving and open cans of food and that sort of thing. So we're leaving that standard this time. I have bumped other up to well, I bumped it up to normal instead of rare. It shows up as custom, and that's all I've really changed there. With the world, we are going with full gas tanks, or full gas pumps rather, with a 0 chance that they're going to be empty, so we're going to be able to get fuel as long as we got power. I would like to see a way to distill your own fuel, like maybe distilling ethanol to use as fuel. That'd be good. Then I wouldn't worry about that if we were able to make our own fuel. I have also disabled the light bulb lifespan so that we never have to change light bulbs. That doesn't include your car headlights, that's for houses and stuff. And we have turned up the basement spawns to always. In the nature, the only two I've changed here is this one and this one, and that is purely for performance reasons. So this is the actual rain, but this is the effects. And so if your computer is struggling a little bit and losing a few frames, try cranking that one down a little bit and it might help. It definitely helps me. Same with disabling snow on the ground, that's purely visual. Into the meta, we do have the helicopter set to sometimes, and we've cranked up the randomized road stories and zone stories. So the road stories, that is going to add more chance of things like the police blockades, ambulances, cars that were halfway through getting a tyre changed, the work vehicles that can spawn with a sledgehammer next to them, that sort of thing, other crashes and stuff in the road, and we're allowing the mini-map. So onto the character, the only thing I've changed here is I have turned down the rear vulnerability and we've turned on the weapon multi-hit. With vehicles, I have turned the vehicle spawn rate up to high. Everything else I've left standard, and livestock I haven't touched any of that. So onto our character build. I'm going with the same character build that I did with my last run, which I started at the launch of build 42, and they have tweaked the DIY expert since then. So this will start us off with 1 carpentry, 1 carving, 2 maintenance, 1 short blunt. And maintenance is needed for a lot of the new skills such as napping and blacksmithing and that sort of thing. With our negative traits, we've got thin-skinned, hearty appetite, prone to illness, slow healer, weak stomach, fast metabolism, and you'll notice that that doesn't actually have like a little icon, so that won't actually show up in our little character panel. But that does give us this low weight, which we'll get rid of once we put on some weight. We also have slow reader and smoker, which gives us enough points to get cat's eyes, which is helps us see better at night. Dexterous, because most of the time that you spend in Project Zomboid is going to be inventory management, so being able to do that quicker saves a bit of time. Outdoorsy, because the only thing that I hate more than ending a run from a scratch is getting a cold. Wakeful, because we just get more stuff done during the day, or get more stuff done out of our time that we're awake, because we're awake longer. Whittler gives us an extra 2 points of carving. Fast learner, because in Echo Creek, skill books I found are very hard come by, so if we can't find books, at least we can still learn stuff at a little bit of a pace. And wilderness knowledge, which has the carving, napping and maintenance, as well as foraging. So that'll bring our carving up to 4 with a 125% XP bonus. So we will only need another 2 levels and we'll be able to make the short bats, which is a decent short blunt weapon, as our DIY starts off with 1 in short blunt. So the wilderness knowledge, and it's not going to show up here unless I take that off. If we take this off, it's basically the same as herbalist, except that it does have the extra skills there. So the carving, the napping and the maintenance on top of the foraging, and on top of being able to find medicinal stuff. And it'll also tell you, you'll be able to tell which of the berries and the mushrooms are poisonous or not. So that's a handy one to have. And this will also let us start with a vest, a hunting vest. So we're going with that. And I do have a preset here. So this is Gary Little, or Gazza, as we call him in Australia. So it's just an Aussie nickname. So if your name was Darren, we'd call you Dazza. If your name was Warren, we'd call you Wazza. If your name was Sharon, we'd call you Shazza. So this is Gazza. Okay, so we got a denim shirt. We got, we don't really need the long sleeve shirt, but we can tear that up for rags if we need it. Jeans, socks, sneakers, and a hunting vest. And that is basically our character build and sandbox settings for this run. So if you did enjoy this video and you want to watch the series, link to the playlist will be in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.